It's lunchtime, and today I'm going to be doing something I haven't been able to do all summer, and that is cook over an open fire. And to help me do that, I brought along my campfire grill from the company Zalderan. If you're interested in hearing more about this product, keep watching. All right, now before we get started, I do want to thank Zalderan for sending out their campfire grill so that I could share it with you. So I've been using this on and off for 10 months maybe, certainly in the last winter into the spring before the fire ban started. But once the fire ban started, I had to put it away. Well, the fall is here, the fire ban is off, and I can have a fire to cook over. That is quite a joy, really, after not having one all summer long. So I'm just going to go over a few of the specifications, give you a look at this to start with, and then we'll set it up and I'll cook some lunch. So basically, it is a stainless steel grill. I'll give you the dimensions in a moment. And it has a post that goes into the ground. It comes in two pieces. First, the post pointed on the end. It's a hollow stainless steel tube. It has this flange or wing at the bottom to help stabilize it as well as help push it into the earth. And it has this other tube of stainless steel which does two things. First off, it gives you a T-bar for pushing down on when you're trying to get it into the ground, if you have especially tough ground to get it into, and in fact I do. And the other thing it does, because it's slotted right on the end, it acts as my manipulation tool, I guess, if you will, for raising and lowering the grill on the steak. How simple is that? Now, let me just give you a couple of measurements for this, and then we'll get it set up and start cooking lunch. Oh, yes, by the way, it does come in the stuff sack, which is one of those string shoulder bag type things. You know that string's going to be coming off shortly, and I'll just use it to draw it closed. And there is a product sheet inside that gives you a little bit of information on it as well. All right, basically, I mentioned it is made from stainless steel, and the package, including the little stuff sack, because you got to carry it in something that will be dirty, comes in at 1.2 pounds. That's pretty lightweight. And the size of the grill tray, which is what is all important, is 12.8 by 8.9. So a good size. Now, the stand itself, or the post, if you will, 17.7 inches. Now, one of the reasons I was happy to get this is because I have always looked at what are often called pot crane sets that are made from cast iron or wrought iron, and often another name I've heard for them is squirrel cooker, which is the fork on the end, pigtail rod that goes in the ground. They look great. I don't have a lot of squirrels to cook a lot around here, but you know, the prong would be great for putting any other piece of meat on. But the whole pot crane idea, where you can put a iron rod into the ground and have another iron rod come out at 90 degrees to that, and then on the end of that you can put a pan or whatever else it is you want. I think those are great. I may yet have someone locally make them. There are some great makers online you can find, but the problem with them is shipping them to Canada is usually more than the product is worth itself. And since they're not incredibly hard to make, I have people around here that I can get to make me one at some point if I'm looking for it. The other thing is they're kind of heavy, really, and they're great if you're in a stationary camp and you're setting this up, or you have a means of transporting it to your camp and you don't mind the extra weight. But for backpacking, maybe not so much. But having said that, this is very reasonable for the whole stainless steel grill, which I don't have to use the stand with. I can just use it over two logs or whatever other supports I want to use it with. And the rods themselves, 1.2 pounds. That's not bad at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fire started here. And as soon as the fire is down to some coals, we'll set the grill up and we'll cook up some lunch. All right, my fire is still burning down, but it won't take long to get down to the point at which I have just a nice bed of coals. Oh, this feels good to be able to do this again, I have to tell you. Spread that out, it'll probably burn down. There is a pile of heat coming off of that, but it's still a little bit too hot to do any grilling. Doesn't mean I can't get the grill set up. So, as I mentioned, there is the flange, arrow plate, step plate, whatever you want to call it, point on end. I got to find something that's pretty close to the edge of the fire. Where's my T-bar? T-bar is helpful. If I really needed to, I could put my foot on the edge of the plate and push down, but I don't think I need. Oh, all right, that's a little bit too close. See, there's rocks right underneath the edge of the soil here. Now, oh, that's nice. That's nice. All right, that's good. Now, in my experience, this is not super heavy duty. I'm only probably 4 inches into the earth, but very rocky soil here. So it's, it's not going to go down a long ways. And you don't have a lot of shaft to push down into the earth either. So you don't need, and you guess you don't want to push it down too far, because you do need a range of motion. But what that means is I'm not going to get get the leaves off. I'm not going to get the range that I want for going up and down over a fire. I'm limited in how high or well, not how low, you can take it right down to the ground, but how high it's actually going to get before I can, before it's too high, or not high enough, I guess is the best way to say it. So it's not going to support a whole lot of weight. Now, I do have a small little cast iron, 6-inch cast iron fry pan that I'm going to be putting on this, if I can get it to make sure it's nice and stable. I think I do have to push it down a little further. And that will probably be most of the weight. Mostly, you're going to use this for grilling. There. And if you're not sure, and I think I am going to do this, if you're not sure that your rod is going to be stable enough, find a rock to support it. Now, just as the fire continues to go down, I mentioned it has a split at the end of that bar, T-bar, so it serves the dual purpose, because this is going to get right hot in a minute. See, I can lower it down, raise it up as well. All right, I'll let my grill preheat a little bit, but I do think I'll get a rock to help support right at the base down there. All right, so I did find myself a rock just to help support the base. It's not going to need it for this first thing I'm going to cook, but when I put the little fry pan on, it has a bit of weight, so just wanted to have that confidence. So the first thing, this is going to be good, some deer meat that I have covered in a little bit of olive oil, some Cajun spices, garlic, and just a little bit of salt. Not a whole lot, just a taste before I move on to cooking some eggs in a fry pan. It's just more of a demonstration of the couple of things that I can do with this than anything else. So there's the meat on. I'm going to give those a second. I'll have to judge whether or not I'm too high. You don't want to be too close to the flame. You want coals, not active flame. And I can see some of my wood is flaming back up. So I will have to be careful not to burn my steak, because that would be a bad thing. I'll bring it back when I think it's pretty much ready. And let's have a look. I'm pretty sure these are done. Oh yeah, they feel right. Look good. Not burnt. All right, I'm going to plate these up. Snack on these while they're still nice. Put a little bit more wood on the fire so that I'll have some hot coals in a few minutes to put my fry pan and eggs on. I'll bring it back. Now, this is the issue I've had setting this grill up, is I had to put a rock to support the post. So I cannot get any closer to the coals, but maybe that's a good thing, because cooking eggs really should be done on pretty low heat. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of sticking, cast iron, well seasoned or not. And while I do have a little bit of sticking, primarily it's not burning. And actually, I don't think it's really sticking. It just needs to be loosened up with my spatula. All right, so trick now is they're 3/4 cooked, over easy. I'm actually going to take them right off of the heat, let the pan do the rest of the work for another minute before I plate them up. Put my kettle back on so I have some hot water for coffee. My grill is cooled off and getting ready to put it away in its stuff sack. This is the materials that were inside of the stuff sack I mentioned before. Just a couple of pieces of literature on it, instructions how to use a grill over a fire, I guess. And yeah. Now, one other thing I didn't show you is the inside of the stuff sack actually is divided into another pocket. So there's the primary pocket for the grill, but there's also a little channel, a little tube pocket here, and that's going to hold the other two parts of it. So I'm going to put the grill away. It's not especially dirty. The heat kept it from retaining any stickiness in it. There, that's dropped in. Now, where do I lay the other two? So the other two pieces, a little bit of dirt on them from being stuck in the ground. One slides on over the other, the T-handle / lifter, I guess. And they go down inside that little back channel pocket inside of the stuff sack. Now, yeah, I am going to be removing the strings because, they're just a nuisance like that. But the bag is especially helpful. All right, a few closing thoughts for the Zalderan Campfire grill. It's nice. It's convenient to have. It's not as versatile as a full-out wrought iron pot crane might be. It's not as versatile as something that has more metal to it, but gives you some more options the way you can set it up and maybe a little bit more stable. But it's a lot smaller and a lot lighter, and it's very reasonably priced. Plus, it's made from stainless steel, so I feel confident that, well, okay, it's dry now, but had it gotten wet and I put it away wet, not something I'd do regardless, it's not going to rust because it is stainless steel, and it's not going to take any rust or hold anything on it that may transmit to the next thing I cook over the grill. Mind you, when you put it on the heat, anything that's on the grill is going to be killed off because of the heat regardless. So it's just a simple device. It is meant primarily for grilling meats, veggies, chicken, steak, fish, whatever else that you want to do. It will handle a small amount of weight, like that little 6-inch cast iron skillet, a full pot of water, a kettle of water. It'll handle that. My only reservations are, because it only has a 17 or just short of 18-inch shaft for mounting it on, you can't get it too deep in the ground, so you can't get it really stabilized for heavy objects. But that was easy to work around. I just picked up a rock, I put it in front of it, and that kept the thing from moving too far forward. So it's just a matter of working with what you have. But when it comes to ease of use for grilling over a fire, I don't have to create a tripod. I don't have to find 2 rocks or logs to mount the grill on. I can swing the grill on and off. I can adjust the height with ease. That's something you know is often lacking when you have a fire and you're waiting for it to cool down to nice coals. But then the coals start to go down too far and you got to build it back up. You need to be able to adjust your height so that you can keep from burning your food. I almost burnt those eggs, but they came off just nicely. All right, that's all I have. I'll be putting the links to where you can take another look at the Zalderan Campfire grill, as well as its specifications, such as they are, in the video description. But if you have any comments or questions, then please put those in the comment section. All right, until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.